Men, what is stopping you from approaching girls? I'll try my best to help out fellow men. I know it can be extremely hard since I used to struggle with this a lot. What is stopping me? A crippling fear I'll make someone uncomfortable or something similar. Where is an appropriate setting to approach a woman? Women in public spaces doing their own thing won't want to be bothered by a stranger making them uncomfortable. Awkwardness. I'm not new to it, I just have been off my game. In my experience, when I'm out with my friends and having a few drinks at some fun event, the awkwardness is gone and I can be real smooth and suave. Now take away the fun event, the drinks, and the friends, and approaching someone becomes awkward, so I assume a lot of guys are having a hard time cold approaching girls and feeling awkward about it because it is awkward. So if it feels awkward, don't approach them. When it feels right, approach. Time and money mostly. I don't have enough time and money to go out as often as I'd have to in order to get comfortable with talking to strangers. If I go out with friends, say to a bar or club or whatever, I can tell when women flirt with my good-looking friends. I see the subtle, or not subtle, signs. My friends will approach only when there are indicators showing they might succeed in that approach. I never receive those indicators. Ever. I've tried getting in shape, grooming, dressing well. Doesn't matter. I don't like to approach women while they're working or in groups. I also like to wait to establish some sort of eye contact. Other than that, nothing. Ending up on a girl's TikTok and going viral for the wrong reasons. I'm scared of women on a fundamental level, and don't know how to approach or speak to them. I recognize that as a man, I'm a predator first and foremost, and a stranger after that. So I understand that it's in my and likely their best interests I don't approach at all. I don't watch TV or listen to the radio, so I don't know how to relate to their interests or hobbies. And generally they tend to be the same with my own gaming, reading sci-fi and fantasy. I have no sense of worth or confidence. Nor do I know how to have either of those things, as I was never taught, and I fear it's too late to learn. What's stopping me? Women who say to leave women alone and never approach them in any setting. If they are wearing headphones. If they are glued to their cell phone. If I don't find them attractive. If they give off negative vibes. If they are wearing a ring. If they are holding some guy's hand. I don't want to put someone on the spot, because I think it's not fair that guys have to always initiate. I don't dig the fact that some women are so shy that they can't do what they desire. If that's the case, those ones aren't my type anyway. It's the being labeled with the term predator just for having a keen interest. It's enough to make any decent guy not even bother. I simply go to a point where I realized it was a waste of energy. My girlfriend. I'm gay. Why did you say men and girls? Say men and women or boys and girls if talking about children. Grown men should not be approaching young girls. Me too. Insecurity. I was always bullied and told that I was a disgusting whatever as a kid. From like 4 till mid-teenage years. Treated differently. Excluded. Discriminated against. Had my ass kicked by big groups. You name it. After a while I guess I started accepting it as the truth. So it's rooted in my mind that nobody wants me. I know it's BS now. But the feeling is still lingering there. Genuinely would have no idea what to say to a complete stranger. Almost all have boyfriends. Seeming lack of interest on their half. Not wanting to be creepy. The amount of effort it takes to get to know someone well enough before I develop feelings. Being able to find the right time to ask them being alone and not with other people. Approachable body language. If I really thought about it, I could probably think of more, but those are the major ones I have. Encountered. I'm a large man that can be really intimidating to a woman if I randomly start talking to them out of the blue, even if I mean no harm to them. Simple: if they find you attractive, then it's flirting. If they don't, then it's harassment. And you could be made internet and famous just for making the attempt. The risk versus reward ratio doesn't make it worth it these days. Seen any of the gym TikTok vids making the rounds lately? It's a risk even existing and sharing space anymore. I usually approach women and not girls. I find girls too young. Girls and not women. Nothing. I don't meet any women I'm attracted to in my line of work. I'm mostly out in the boonies hiking along power lines. And when I'm required to interact with electrical customers, it's usually a homeowner. So someone who is either married with kids or elderly. None of my hobbies or group activities either. And I work 6 days a week. So it's hard to meet people at bars or clubs as well. Finally, I've tried using Tinder like all guys. But the never-ending online conversations with women I wouldn't look twice at in real life have me burned out. I'd rather be alone than lead someone on. Also, why does anyone feel they are not allowed to talk to women? Was this because something their parents told them? Was it something the internet told them? I am currently in a phase where I wouldn't necessarily refuse dates. But I am definitely not actively looking for opportunities. Recently switched to a new job on a cut to lose about 30 pounds in the next 3 months. I wouldn't say I lack confidence. It's more like I know I can be better mentality-wise, and I am not there yet. But I know I am really close, if that makes sense. Men: what is stopping you from approaching girls? Age gap. Mostly. Help me out. How can I approach women who are about 20 years younger than me? Woman: here I approach men all the time. I've given out my number countless times and never get pursued afterward. It's so strange. I've asked on many threads and men say it would make things much easier if women approached them. But I've not found this to be the case. Person shrugging, medium light skin tone, female sign. Edit a letter. Nothing. I make lots of approaches. She's probably already in a relationship or already has other guys pursuing her. My wife. My girlfriend, but also my wife. The awkwardness and rejection. I have done it many times when I was in high school, almost rejection every time. Now I'm in senior college. I don't do it anymore because it is just too awkward. Crippling low self-esteem induced depression. Logically I know I'm viable, as I quite literally accidentally brushed a woman's buttocks at work yesterday and she liked it. So that was neat. I'm not afraid to approach women. Nobody likes rejection, but it happens. I work way too much and rarely go out. I'm just really out of practice. I'm a year single after 29.5 years in a relationship. Things are really different now. My standards and the idea that we likely aren't compatible. It's kept me out of a relationship so far, and I think it will continue to do so. Fear of rejection, not wanting to creep anyone out. I think I'm not really good enough. For me, it's not fear of rejections. That happens enough and you get used to it. For me, it's the anxiety of being labeled an asshole creep for trying to strike up a conversation. I've had it happen organically plenty of times and it works out. But forcing it doesn't feel right to me. Nothing stops me. Being weird and unattractive just means it's pointless to pursue them as romantic interests. If I do that as friends, it's perfectly fine. Nerves and the constant feeling of not being good enough, looking good now.